Gosh. But it may not be such an amazing evening considering the stories that we have for you today. But good evening, all the same. My name is Precious, and thank you so much for joining us. This is the Evening Rush 90.3 Voice of the People FM. Now, this is where Nigeria's finest conversation takes place every evening. Here, we dissect topical conversations that are important to you, that affects you, that matters to you, that shapes your life. And that is where we are Voice of the People. Because here we don't just dissect them, we also make room for expert analysis. But what's most important is that we get to have you have your say in these conversations. So, yeah, right. That's why we are Voice of the People. My producer is Promise Enyi, and I'll run you quick through the hot topics that we have this evening. All right, on the hot topic this evening, quite an area of conversations we'll be having. First, Boko Haram attacks Nigerian army base in Borno, kills several soldiers, burns military vehicles. According to this report, gunmen impose 172.7 million naira levy. You heard it. 172 million 700,000 naira. Make a call and like that so you go understand that, man. Levy, that is fine. On 25 Zamfara villages, forcing residents to flee, run for their life because that kind of money, where they see and where they go pay. Moving on, explosion rocks Islamia school in Abuja, kills one student, injures four others. And then Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu's travails impacting his family, lawyer Ejimako cries out. You'll also get in the news, court grants 100 million bail to woman who allegedly threatened Sheyi Tinubu. IGP for PRO. Say now 10 million naira, you go use bail yourself for talking all those kind of things where you talk. But hey, still in the news this evening, we have a shocking story of how a media mogul almost lost his life in the hands of soldiers in the southeast. Okay, because these are the hot topics that we have. Let's get started very quickly. No need for a break. So I begin with this story that happened in the southeast. So should I just begin with the death of our soldiers? I love to begin with the death of our soldiers. So that because I have a second guest here and he may be running away. So I like to begin with a story so he chimes in on it before leaving us. So let's begin with that. Go to Zamfara, then we'll get to the southeast. So very quickly. Now, we hear that Boko Haram Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP. You know, say them be faction. So that terrorists group have killed a yet to be identified or confirmed number of Nigerian soldiers. That is the number where they kill, so we'll never count them. No fee know the exact number yet. That's what that statement means. Right. And that with many of them still missing following an attack on a forward operating base in the Dambao local government area of Borno State. According to security sources, the incident occurred on Saturday, January 4, 2024. The sources added that the terrorists razed many buildings. That is, when they say raise, them burn plenty houses and military operational vehicles during the attack that lasted over 2 hours. They said the attack lasted within 2 to 4 hours in a military base. Yes, you heard it. Now, 25 Task Force Brigade was attacked during the weekend with so many casualties. So far, we have recovered over 7 bodies, a source told Sahara reporters, whose source I'm using right now. Now, the terror group invaded the camp, FOEB, Sabongeri, around 4 a.m. on Saturday, using various weapons. Since the death of their leader, Abubakar Shekau, ISWAP has been consolidating its grip in locations around the Lake Chad basin. Now, the sect membership has swollen with defection of hundreds of Boko Haram fighters moving camp. Don't tell me it's like they move from APC to PDP. No, it's not that kind of camping. So the Nigerian army says it is committed to wiping out the terrorists from the country. Now, the terror group has killed many people and displaced millions of individuals, mainly in Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe states. This is a very sad incident. I'll play you a bit of sound of what happened so that you have more like a graphic, knowledge of what happened, according to this report and footage is gotten from Sahara reporters. Take a listen.
This is our home store. This is our home store. Thank God for life. These people born everything in this camp. Ya Rasulullah Mazallah. Ya Rasulullah Mazallah. Alhamdulillah for life. Thank God for life. Thank God for life. Kai. We don't even know, maybe we have casualty for now. But all our people that entered bush, they are coming back one. Allah continue to guide and protect us.
Sawa menu, sawa soldier. Almost 6 soldier or 7 soldier now. The key for you. Sawa menu. And 12 days, the key 129.
Such a sad gory image to see there. Or you could hear the soldiers there saying, see our men, you know, easy for here. And I heard the other one praying and saying, may Allah continue to protect us. That is, to protect our army. That is our soldiers. They're supposed to be protecting our territorial integrity and our sovereignty. When army now begins to beg God to protect us. Well, joining me in the studio is Barrister Darlington. Today is Monday, so you already know that he's my Monday darling. Good morning, good evening, Barrister Darlington. Thank you for joining us. Apologies, this matter is a bit too worrisome to have. Yeah. Well, I also have with me, incidentally, Mr. Peter Anosike joining me in the studio. Thank you. This is your first time on the Evening Rush.
Very first
and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So let me start with you, Barrister Darlington, with this incident in Borno State. Would you like to chime in on it?
Yeah, Precious. I don't know how long we'll continue to talk about this particular story. This is not the first. In fact, we have lost count. Unfortunately, the federal government keep telling us that they are wiping out the terrorists. They are doing this, they are doing that. Nothing they have not told us.
But how come we've not gotten any official statement from the Nigerian army yet? None that I know of yet, but I'll keep checking to be sure of when that official statement drops.
They don't need to say anything because it has become an embarrassment. What are they going to say? What do you want them to say, Precious? What exactly are they going to tell us that they have not told us since 10 years ago?
And how about the Nigerian government? Shouldn't we also get an official message from the Nigerian government?
They are best of the same feather. Both the military and the government, they are working hand in hand to perpetrate this evil called insecurity. Because the president told you in the media chat, the only one he had, or the first one he had, that he will not probe this military for us to know what they are doing. He said he will not probe the military. So the military are their liberty to do whatever they like. If this president had put this military on their toes, they would have solved this problem. But because of the privilege given to them, they now behave anyhow. In fact, they are not even doing their duties again. Have you ever contemplated a situation whereby the Nigerian military will leave what they are supposed to do and go and wait the Igbos at the southeast there and be collecting money from them? Nigerian military. Is that what they're supposed to do? That will tell you how corrupt everybody has become. A whole Nigerian military that's supposed to go and attack these people that are doing this thing over there. They left it. They just want to go and cash out.
Barrister Darlington, are those not mere allegations?
Why have you not traveled by road and see what the others are talking about?
Sir?
Why have you not traveled by road this Christmas? Which allegation? No, have you not heard the stories, eyewitness account of what is going on? This same military, they are now after money. The NSA told you that the weapon they bought for the Nigerian military, that the same military are selling it to terrorists, Precious.
He said it only once, sir. Maybe.
Oh, hey, God Almighty.
But sir, it's once he said it now.
Precious, you have started this year.
No, I've not started though. I am repented.
You said he said it once. So how many times will he say it?
Okay, sorry, sir.
For a man of that height to make such a statement, the president, in fact, there should be an overhaul of the military by now. But Tinubu told us he will not probe the military. So what are you telling me now? Oh, you think they are fighting insecurity? No. They are fighting for their pockets. For them to be selling arms to terrorists, they are fighting for their pocket. That is why this thing has persisted. I ask you again, is this the first time these people have hit army barracks? The one that even paid me more was the one that happened in 2018. Military barracks. These guys invaded the place from all front. After passing 4 military checkpoints before they entered that barracks. And the gallant Nigerian soldiers were able to capture some of their leaders. Do you know what happened? They said there was a call that night from above to release all the men they captured. Precious, what else are you trying to say now? Please, I don't want to talk, because there are things I will say now, you may not like it. I don't want to even think of what is going on, because it is unthinkable, unbelievable. Every day we are fighting insecurity. We are doing our best. We should clear them out. Meanwhile, it's all paper state. None. All word of mouth. None of them is real. None of them is real.
Thank you, Barrister. That's your opinion.
Today is Monday. Let's wait what will happen from that till weekend.
All right. So let me come to you, Mr. Peter Nosike. This is a very sad incident. Now, these people who have lost their lives and who are missing are people's fathers, breadwinners, sons, brothers. I don't know. And this incident happened, I'm getting a bit emotional, apologies, forgive me. This happened as far back as 4 a.m. on Saturday morning. Why haven't we heard any official report from the Nigerian government or from the military, apart from this scoop from the Sahara reporters?
Well,
is it an ideal thing? Is it ideal that we should not hear officially from the Nigerian army or the Nigerian government on this attack?
Well, the issue that organizations are not supposed to be quick in issuing statements. They ought to get the facts of what really happened.
This is 48 hours and counting, sir.
Since Saturday.
But what really concerns me is
4 a.m. yesterday made it 24 hours. 4 a.m. early today was 48 hours. This is almost going to 72 hours.
But what really concerns me is if soldiers are saying, may God continue to help us. Mm-hmm. That's when soldiers are now talking like women. Understand? If you hear that voice, you know that man was shaking to his bone marrow. He was scared. And it's somebody who we are paying to protect us. So if they are talking this way, what now becomes our fate? What now becomes our fate? When soldiers are now talking that's like women who maybe we are scared by animals in the farm. Understand? God continued that to protect us. So for me, it shows a real danger for the country.
All right, so let's get back to our next story. We'll still come back to this issue because, we're dealing with security all along. So now we hear that gunmen in Zamfara State have reportedly imposed a fine of 172,700,000. I hate to call it 172.7 million because people don't understand that 0.7 there is 700,000. That's a lot of money on a levy on 25 villages in this region. That is in this economy like this, in the Safe West area, driving hundreds of residents from their homes in fear of violent reprisals. So I run this very quickly. We heard, according to a report from a particular publication that is called Zagazola Makama, a counterinsurgency publication focused on the Lake Chad region. The gunmen are allegedly led by a notorious bandit leader, not Barrister Darling, not the one Barrister Darlington calls his name all the time. It's not Trujubelo, Barrister Darlington. So his name is Dani Suhu. That's the name of this bandit leader. That he has also demanded. They've also demanded in-kind contributions, such as bags of soybeans and other stuff. So you not just give them cash, you give in kind. I'm going to break down the amount of money they requested from the different communities. Now, the targeted villages and their respective levies include Gijinzama. They are to pay 8.5 million naira only in banking terms. Dakolo, 5 million naira and 20 bags of soybeans. Gunja, 7 million naira. Kawiyen Kane, 5 million naira. and Kurar Muta, 6 million naira, amongst others like that. There are 25 villages. Now the highest levy of 20 million was imposed on Kunchin Kalgo, while Sungawa and Rakiabu each were demanded to pay 15 million naira. Now the levies are accompanied by threats of violence against those who fail to comply to the payment, according to the report. We heard that hundreds of residents have abandoned their homes, farmlands, and livelihoods, fearing brutal attacks by bandits if they don't pay. So, since they not get the money to pay this kind of money, how many people did the villages who won't contribute them? Now, a local source quoted in the report described the dire situation facing the villages. It says the inability to pay these levies often results in brutal attacks by bandits, leaving the residents with no option but to flee, according to the source. How long will Nigerians continue like this, Barrister Darlington?
You mentioned Toju Bello. That man you mentioned now is one of his minions, those who learned their trade from him. He has graduated a lot of boys, and they have spread that to go and make money. That is what happens when you allow evil to fester for too long. There are people who are learning under that man, and he has mobilized them all over the place to go and look for money. So what are you now saying?
Are you serious?
Ask yourself, why is Toju Bello, a Nigerian, is still inside Nigeria, causing this problem? Precious, have you asked yourself? Have you forgotten when this same Toju Bello was before the camera between the governor of Zamfara that time, Matawali or who? Clutching AK-47 and pointing at those people who were before him. One of you gave us this business we are doing. Have you forgotten? We discussed it here. Since that time till now, this man has been waxing strong. Precious, have you forgotten when Toju Bello was turbaned in that same environment? And the federal government official went to witness it.
State government, sir.
State and federal. State and federal.
It was just some.
I said the state and federal. What's the difference? State and federal, they were there. Precious, they were there. Nobody arrested him. Sheikh Gumi tells you that anytime he go and visit his boys, his bandit boys inside the bush, the federal government official used to give him backup. Precious, are these in facts or not? Then what are we discussing here? The federal government know what is going on. The northern leaders know what is going on. So why is it an issue? We should leave it now until they decide to solve the problem.
All right. So, Mr. Victor Anosi, coming straight to you. Remember the prediction of acute hunger this year? And that is largely, some people are predicting that prediction of acute hunger is largely because of insecurity issues that may not really allow farmers access to their farms. And this is just one of the situations. In Benue State, some villages are demanded to pay as much as 20 million naira too. We reported last year. Now, how do we ensure food security in a situation like this?
Well,
understanding that the predominant occupation of these people are farming.
Zamfara was carved out of the old Sokoto state. And this state, the old Sokoto state, has boundary with Niger, Cameroon, and so on and so forth. Even there's no real boundary that's between Sokoto and these countries. So people just go in and out. And that's one of the reasons why this is happening. Again, remember there was a statement that Defense Minister made last week that there's no more insecurity in his state, that they have chased them out to Niger. You remember? Now, this just proves to everybody that he is mainly deceiving us. From day one, I said that his appointment as defense minister was wrong.
Defense minister or the minister for state for defense?
Minister of state.
Are you speaking about Matawale right now?
Oh, okay. Because he failed in his state. His state was, after Borno, was Zamfara with regard to insecurity. and you still appointed this person Minister of State for Defense, which is very, very wrong. So this thing shows that there are so many countries in Nigeria. Understand me? That's what it shows. If somebody can impose tax, a non-state actor can impose tax. This is what is happening in Somalia, in Iraq, as we speak.
Now, speaking about imposing tax, what happened in Borno State right now with the army attack? A lot of people are saying that, are we going to see reprisal attack like they did in Okwama, like it happened in Aba and in some other areas where there were killings of military officials and there were reprisal attacks by the army and some villages were razed and all that? Do you think that army would come with full force and ensure they deal with the perpetrators of this action like they did in Okwama?
The way soldiers act in the north is not the same way they act in the other parts of the country.
Why?
They are more sympathetic to those in the north.
Why so, sir?
And that's why this is happening.
If that's correct.
The truth is that they are not seeing all these murderers as murderers. They are just seeing them as wayward children.
I don't understand. Like, they're not seeing
Like
terrorists like the Islamic sect,
they are seeing them,
like the Boko Haram sect.
They are seeing them as just miscreants.
Could this be in line with the same statement of an attack of Boko Haram is an attack on the north?
Exactly. They have sympathy for them. The way we are,
so that means that statement is really a thing.
it is a thing. It's a fact. They have sympathy for them. They are seeing them as just a wayward children, hungry.
But real human beings are dying from the activities of those wayward children.
So,
all right, so let's get straight to this incident because I know your time is fast spent. You may be leaving us. So something happened over the weekend, and that's one of the reasons I brought you here, Mr. Noseke. Narrating the incident now. We hear that the owner of a very popular radio and television station in Lagos State, will not mention names now, was almost shot dead or shot to death by soldiers on patrol along Idimili Nobi Road. Idemili, okay. Idemili in Nobi Road, yeah. Now, according to this, is in the southeast. Now, according to him, he was going on his way to Asaba Airport with 3 DSS officials when some soldiers in uniform double-crossed their vehicle, ordered them off the road, and asked them to lie on the road. This is an eyewitness account. Now, he said that the soldiers cocked their guns with DSS officials there, cocked their guns and wanted to shoot the 3 of them, saying that they looked like kidnappers.
Four of them. The three DSS,
three DSS and
the man.
Oh, you're very familiar with this story, so it's great. So 4 of them. So even the DSS people and the businessman who employs thousands of people in Lagos State and across Nigeria is a kidnapper. He's looking like a kidnapper. Are all looking like kidnappers. Okay, going forward. Now, according to him, even when the DSS officers brought out their identity cards and showed to them, they still insist that they were kidnappers. That is, they don't read the ID card enough. They just say forget about wanna be kidnappers. Now, speaking further, he said that all their pleas for innocence fell on deaf ears as the soldiers kept manhandling them. I can imagine. Now, he said their saving grace was the arrival of the leader of the patrol team, who was able to give them a hearing ear. According to him,
and they were meant to lie down on the road. Lie down, face on the ground.
Oh, you're also familiar with this story. All right, also let's get straight. So that is, in fact, he said that they would have killed them innocently. Mr. Peter Anoseke, please, what do we make of this incident? That you will recall that over time we've heard of different attacks in the southeast. In fact, there has been stories of extortion, checkpoints by checkpoints from southeasterners on their ways on their trips to the southeast. In fact, they say that you have to park your vehicle at the corner and walk straight down to go and pay money to a military official. You hear now, people have narrated this incident on radio here to us. And then to some other people, remember the case of about 50 people who were arraigned and taken to Abuja, who were from the magnanimity of the judge, released and said that we can't see anything about Boko Haram, about IPOB, you guys, so let's release them. So these 50 people, for months, they were apprehended
and languishing in jail.
And we still hear right now that there are different Southeast sons and daughters languishing in different security withholding centers because of one crime, in the guise of one crime or the other. Now, a lot of times when this report comes out, people say, oh, it's a lie, or people are being too sentimental. But this coming from an eyewitness report from someone who even owns a media outfit. Please, what do we make of it, sir?
Well, the truth is that the soldiers in the Southeast are not there for the protection of nations. And
just one more thing. Most of them could not really express themselves in English language very well. So, and they were from a particular part of the country.
They were from, yes, they were from a particular part of the country.
According to the eyewitness. So,
most of them are, Tinubu was in Enugu on Saturday. And one of the things that Southeasterners begged was to dismantle the checkpoints in the Southeast.
They asked him.
Yes, that's one of the things, one of the requests that
Why
they
was
made
it not
for
granted?
Tinubu. Well, I don't know. It cannot be done immediately. But the most important thing that they realize that it is of no use. Because a security checkpoint will be here 100 meters away, 100 yards away. They will be robbing people, kidnapping people. So those soldiers in the Southeast are not there for protection of life and property. They are just there to extort, to intimidate, to harass, and to kill.
To kill?
To kill. That's what they are doing there.
So, Barrister Darlington, was there the possibility, or any slightest possibility, that the man in question and the DSS officials would have lost their lives in this?
In fact, maybe
from this encounter?
I was able to hear some of these things from the eyewitnesses directly, and the description and what was told is very scary. Seriously. Because by now, it would have been a different story entirely.
A very different story.
A very different story. You know what? A second is enough for you to pull the trigger. Because when a gun is pointed at you directly, I mean, a gun was cocked and pointed at you. Do you know that alone is a crime? For somebody to point a gun at you, whether that gun, whether the trigger was put on, is a crime on itself. Then for you to be told to lie down, on an express road,
by 12:30 in the afternoon.
In the afternoon,
and sun is shining.
Light.
Imagine how hot the road will be.
You would have, in fact, you have reduced that person to nothing. Your human right, your humanity, everything about you reduced to zero by people who don't have any inkling about human rights. Precious, when you are confronted by security officers on the road and you comply and obey, the first thing they should do is to cross-check whatever you are telling them as your person. Is that not true? I'm sure all of them have phone there. They have a line manager. Call him. These DSS officers, the ID card they are holding is not an ordinary ID card you can get from roadside printers. They have barcode, they have serial number, they have authentic there. Please, do you have this person as one of your men? We have somebody here who is claiming to be a DSS man, and we saw them with some men. We are suspecting them. Please, can you confirm this the name? Simple. But they are not trained for this kind of discussion. Precious, the people you have as your security officers or military in Nigeria, they are not trained for this kind of interaction.
But is it their fault? Is it not their fault? Okay, sir.
Madam Precious.
Yes, please.
The head of the patrol told his soldiers, before you shoot, wait.
Whoa. So that means they were really ready to shoot. And he even knows that they were going to shoot.
Before you shoot, wait, make some confirmation.
Can you imagine?
That's what saved them.
Are you serious?
Did you hear that?
Before you shoot, he now called the Oka DSS office. So the Oka confirmed that the three left their office about 1 hour 30 minutes ago.
So if not that the head
That
of the
is
patrol
just where you are
was
head.
discerning
Just
enough
remember
to make that
ask it,
statement, they would have been
And not go through. If there was a network,
Exactly. They won't even say, okay, follow us to our station. You
imagine.
won't share that. They won't allow them to go with them.
Imagine if there was a network, or the person was still busy to pick his call.
So, what do you think would have been the end result?
No investigation, nothing.
Now, do you think when this thing happened now, do you think they would have accepted culpability? They will tell you, no, we didn't do such a thing. No, it's IPOB. Can we shoot to DSS men? No, we didn't do that. Even the Oga.
Are you saying that it would have? Are you saying that what would have been in the news would have been IPOB kills three DSS officials?
And one businessman.
Yes,
That's how they put it.
They will now put it IPOB fighting Nigerian government, killing DSS people.
That's how DSS people. That's how they put it.
And I don't they take this journalism work for my hand, though. You're calling headlines already.
Yes, that's what they will put. Do you think they will come out to say that they killed them? You know it's not possible. Pressure, it can never be possible. And the organs in Abuja will say, look at it. Look at it. Look at what the boys are doing. They are killing our people. They are killing our military. Our killing soldiers.
And they will come for a
They are
reprisal.
killing our military. Our killing soldiers.
And they will come for a reprisal
attack.
and kill more people.
More people, yes. Everybody in that vicinity, in that village. Pressure, that is their modus operandi.
So, Mr. Nosiki, this is very worrisome. It is even more worrisome because there was a report late last year, that people in the southeast were complaining that they're being treated like evil slaves at the road checkpoints in the southeast, and I dare say in their villages. Could this be the exact situation they were speaking to? That's why they said they made such statements.
For me, this shows you that many of the people being killed in the southeast by soldiers are innocent.
Innocent people.
Are innocent. Because this one, you look like a kidnapper, period. No investigation, no anything. Which means somebody can be walking on the road and look and understand me. So this is a typical example of what Nigerian soldiers are doing in the south.
So does it speak to the fact that when some people in the southeast are saying that they are no longer young men that are youths, when some people in the southeast are saying that they are no longer young men that are youths in the southeast because they're easily picked and attacked, could this be the reason why?
This is it now. You can see it. You can see it.
And I can bet my last kobo, this incident couldn't have been the first or the last in the southeast during this.
So you think that this is not the first time this kind of?
There are people.
You think it's not just a coincidence that this just happened?
It's just God that saved them. It's just God that saved them.
I'm telling you. I said there are incidences that you may not hear about because of where it happened and the people involved. They will just pack them, dump them somewhere. Did you not hear 2 weeks ago that a particular mortuary is telling people that the place is filled up? That people should come and take their people away. That the military and the police. Did you not hear that one? That the place is filled up. Did you not hear of people who are looking for their children, their sons? That they don't know where they went to. They have been looking for them.
All right. So
this is exactly what happened. And when we are telling this federal government, they don't keep deaf ear. They left where the problem is, and they now invaded the southeast.
So, Barrister Darlington and Mr. Peter Nosike, what does this mean to the unity and sovereignty of Nigeria if we have situations where people are treated in like manner? Because a lot of people would have thought that with this kind of thing that has happened in Borno State, for instance, there will be a lot of attraction of the military in Borno State now to ensure that they curb future occurrence so that it doesn't even happen. So, but if such does not happen and there is no adequate reprisal attack like it would have happened, like it did happen in Okwama and any other part of Southeast.
It will not happen.
So then what does this mean if it doesn't?
It will not happen.
What does it mean?
Borno is Nigeria. Borno is Nigeria.
And Southeast is Afghanistan.
Appendage. Appendage. Understand me?
Please, Mr. Nosike.
I'm telling you the real truth. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. As the way soldiers behave in the north is not the same way they behave in the southeast.
All right. So,
did you know that when IPOB was criminalized as a terrorist group by Buhari, it took him years. In fact, he reluctantly now decided to call bandits, the terrorists, as terrorists. He never wanted to see what is going on in the north as terrorism. They were calling them insurgents. But IPOB is a terrorist group. Meanwhile, no other country in the whole world have seen IPOB as a terrorist group. It's only Buhari who saw them as terrorists. His own brothers there, who are the real terrorists, he refused to call them criminal or terrorists. So how do you not think that they will treat them as terrorists? Even when they managed, when he reluctantly called them terrorists, they were still treated with the kid glove, pampered. Is that not true? He said if you see anybody carry AK-47 that is a terrorist, have there anybody been killed? Who gave them the audacity to attack a military barracks? Do you imagine the audacity? Precious, have you started to think of somebody invading a military barracks? The sheer audacity that nothing will happen. For you to take such a mission, that means it's a suicide mission. You have signed your death warrant.
All right, so
they have all left.
But
they have all left. Did you see they caught anybody?
What would have happened? What would have happened when we have this kind of attack on our military personnel? Oh, Mr. Nasuke, you want to bail me out of this?
I want to say something.
Yes, please.
One time, about 2 years ago, Emmanuel Macron of France was in a state visit in another country in Europe. He heard that a 17-year-old boy was stabbed.
Does this speak to the security of our country?
Precious,
Sir?
you said that the student was wearing something like an
IED, yes.
Good. Now, from that age, you have started indoctrinating a child on terrorism.
But we are yet to hear an official statement. No, we don't even know if it's terrorism.
Purpose.
Yes.
Go and sew school uniform. Go as a student.
Abi?
Because that could be the easiest way he can penetrate.
Yes.
Understand me?
But so, we're even yet to get an official report.
What should a student be doing with IED? What should a student be doing with the IED? So maybe he was recruited for that mission, and the only way he can do is to go and register as a student, so he will have access to the school. All
right, so let me let you go, Mr. Peter Nosike. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for
on the evening.
Me.
I hope you had a good time, the little time that you spent with us. All right, so moving on to another conversation. Earlier today, Federal High Court in Abuja admitted Olamide Thomas, who allegedly threatened Seyi Tinubu and the Inspector General of Police IG, Police Kayode Egbetokun, with a death threat on social media to a 10 million naira bond with one surety in like sum. Now, Justice Emeka Nwite, in a ruling on Thomas Bill's application, said there was no concrete, there was no concrete evidence placed before the court by the prosecution. The defendants would jump bail. So, in fact, bottom line, they granted her a bail of 10 million naira. Barrister Darlington, I don't know if you're familiar with this case of the lady who allegedly insulted Seyi Tinubu, the IGP, and the first PRO, after the infamous statement of if you insult someone, it's a criminal offense. I don't know if you remember that incident.
Pleasures. Can you remember what the woman said exactly?
She said something so. Yes, she said that I can't use the word on radio.
Okay, hold on. Precious.
Sir?
In fact, this is injustice that I don't want to hear. Precious, were you not here when a certain Sheikh Tenshi issued a death warrant? In fact, he issued a death sentence on Tinubu's wife, Remi Tinubu, that God told him to kill Remi Tinubu because she's an infidel. What did they do to that man? Precious, what did they do to that man? And now you have seen an innocent woman because she said something. So people have not said worse things, Abi. You can see the society we are living in. You mean nobody have said worse things than that woman? You now pick her up. I should clap for you, Abi. In fact, God will judge every one of them. For this injustice, God will judge every one of them. Because it is injustice. It's injustice.
They would have. Okay.
Yes. Which one is worst? The one they told you Remi Tinubu or the one this woman said? Which one is worse? Oh, the law is for certain people, Abi. I'm ashamed of all of them. I am very, very ashamed of all of them. Is it only that man? The one Rufai and other people have been saying, Inko? The Nigerian said that they have threatened Inko? No, the Nigerian said that somebody went to go and bring terrorists to invade Inko. Nobody saw that one. Nobody. Those people, they are sacred cow. They can never be called to question. The one that Sari Dokubo has been saying.
But it's a but
let
me read out some of the things the woman said. She said that Sheyi Tinubu would die this year and that misfortune and calamity will befall the Tinubu family with the intent to, because of the suffer that Nigerians are suffering and all that. She said a lot of things. So these are things that you shouldn't say now.
Are you serious? Because I ask you again, is he the only one who have said was that my question? That is my question. You have not answered that question. Is it the can't Sheyi Tinubu reply the woman? Why can't she reply back to sender? Issue your own podcast now and tell the woman whatever you said against me will return back to your family. What is wrong there? You want to tell her you have power? In the scheme of things, what is Sheyi Tinubu? Is he a governor? Is he a minister or what? It's only under Tinubu that we now start seeing the son parading as a state official. Only under Tinubu. Why can't he reply them? Look at all the things they have said all over the place about people. How many times have the P2B been insulted and called names? Didn't they see those people? I am asking you. No, because you want to justify this thing now that he said a lot of things. What did she say? What did she say? Okay, is it not better to judge her than to war?
So, Barrister, let's go to another conversation now. Just before we go, our lawyer Jimako, late counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous people of Biafra, today, Monday, said the travails of the agitator is adversely impacting the family. Ejimako said those working against moves by Kanu's family to secure his release are against the IPOB leader. So he posted on his X handle, Twitter. He says, let's be clear, the travels of Mr. Kanu impacts most members of his immediate family, who are the frontline stakeholders and thus better placed to act in his best interest. Those working against every move made by his family members are actually working against MNK. So he said. So Barrister Darlington, one of the questions I want that's been begging for an answer is, for instance, the questions around security in the Southeast, especially on Mondays when sit at home is enforced. Please, this subtle militarization of the Southeast that Southeasterners have been complaining about, that is militarized, checkpoints here and there. On Mondays, when those sit-at-home orders are being upheld or enforced, the military checkpoints, where are they at that time?
Oh, really? I should have been asking you, a journalist. So.
No, because it's just a worry. Because if the military is there to ensure that, to keep law and order, they should also be there to make sure that nobody can enforce a sit-at-home. So that, what happens to the military checkpoints?
That will tell you the conspiracy we are talking about.
Oh, you think there's a conspiracy?
There is in fact, it's becoming obvious. Not that we are thinking, we are speculating. No, it is very, very obvious. Because if you, as a security agent, have been sent to go and take care of certain things somewhere, and when you got there, things went out of hand. In fact, under your work, things escalated. The person that sent you there, is he not supposed to ask you, come, you are supposed to be there. Why is this thing going on? They kept quiet. All
right. So for the purpose of those who are just joining us, who's just joining in, let's quickly play you some of those footages or those sound bites as to the complaint in the 25 task force brigade today. That happened, the incident that happened on early Saturday morning, the attack on 25 task force brigade in Dambao, Borno State. Some soldiers were killed in that incident. Take a listen if you're watching from if you're listening from terrestrial, but if you're watching on YouTube, we'll play the video.
Come on, sawa men, sawa soldier. Almost 6 soldier or 7 soldier now. Not the key for you, sawa men. And 12 the key 121 Come on, sawa men, sawa 80. Come on, sawa men, sawa soldier. Almost 6 soldier or 7 soldier now. Not the key for you, sawa men. And 12 the key 121 Come on, sawa men, sawa soldier. Almost 6 soldier or 7 soldier now. Not the key for you, sawa men.
This is our home store. This is our home store. Thank God for life. These people born everything in this camp. Ya Rasulullah Mazallah. Ya Rasulullah Mazallah. Alhamdulillah for life. Thank God for life. Thank God for life. We don't even know, maybe we have casualty for now. But all our people that entered bush, they are coming back one. Allah continue to guide and protect us. So, this is our house store. This is our house store. Thank God for life. These people born everything in this camp. Ya Rasulullah Mazallah. Ya Rasulullah Mazallah. Alhamdulillah for life. Thank God for life. Thank God for life. Kai.
Voice of the people of humanities, the evening rush. On a hot topic this evening, we have had quite an area of conversations, still having, right? On a hot topic this evening, we told you that Boko Haram attacks Nigerian army base in Borno, kills several IGP and others. Well, there's also another story we told you about how a media mogul almost lost his life in the hands of soldiers on patrol in Anambra State. They dealt with him, told him to lie down. In his words, he was humiliated. This is an eyewitness account. Phone lines are open. Lagos 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. These are the numbers to call. Hello, good evening and welcome. I look, this is a new year. I wanted to say we can't start the year of our Lord like this, because it's the year of our Lord. Hello, good evening.
Hello? Hello?
I don't know. Hello, good evening. Just a good ask me question one, no go for answer. Good evening and welcome.
I greet you. I greet the and personality.
Yes, we greet you too.
My name is Dismantle, coming from Mogul.
You're welcome.
Nigerian problem have tired me.
Sorry.
And what I want to do is, they are telling us to be praying for Nigeria. And my prayer, I want to pray. Let me to pray for Nigeria. All the people where their hands, where they kill innocent people where they and people where anything pay, all of them will pay their own life. Anybody will collect money to kill innocent people, maybe because they cannot fight themselves, they will pay with their own life and their family. And my prayer is that, and I said amen to that prayer. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye, my brother. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Madam President.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Evangelist, the man with vision.
Evangelist, you're welcome.
I greet your colleagues.
Thank you.
Guests. I pray I wish these two people will be coming on air every Monday like this. Nigeria will better. Yes, Nigeria will better. So, for say what I want to say. Actually, this, I don't know why people are just killing their own fellow human being. I don't know whether they have reason or maybe they are sick. In fact, I don't know. Is it that God is not seeing all the things that has happened? God is a forgiving. He's a merciful God, though. He's a merciful God. That is why they are just killing people feel that they can go free with it. So the bandits, the Boko Haram, that went to to kill the military and to destroy some of them.